Hello Summit Hill 161 school community. Welcome to the next installment in our video series to promote enhanced communication. I am John Snipes, the Director of Curriculum, and this video will focus on the assessment and grading updates that took place at the beginning of this school year. The following items will be discussed in this video: formative tasks and their value, summative tasks and their value, the new A through F equal interval grading scale, and our new reassessment opportunities. District 161 created a committee at the beginning of the 2016-17 school year to focus efforts on assessment and grading practices throughout the district. The Assessment and Grading Committee has been meeting regularly for the past 2 years and will continue to meet this year. Our belief statements help to shape our focus areas as listed on the previous slide. We believe learning is a priority, learning is a process, and learning rather than grades will be emphasized with a focus on improving student growth. We need to promote continuity and consistency across all District 161 schools, and we believe in the growth mindset, which means skills and abilities can grow and develop. Next, I will elaborate on each of the focus areas. The first area is formative assessment. Formative assessments are assessments for learning. They are used by teachers to adjust their teaching strategies and by students to adjust their learning strategies during the learning process. Formative tasks are practice for learning. Formative feedback provides students with ongoing information on how they are doing during the learning process. Feedback provides specific areas to target in order to show growth. Formative assessment occurs during instruction. It can take place informally through questioning and observing, or formally by checking homework, quizzing, or journaling. Formative tasks are not always graded, but feedback to the student is provided. This type of assessment requires flexibility so that changes can be made to instruction along the way. This provides ongoing feedback between the teacher and students. Formative tasks account for 25% of the student's quarterly grade. We have to remember that formative tasks are for practice. Students will make mistakes during the learning process, and that is okay. We encourage risk-taking and want to see students work through difficult problems that may involve new concepts for them. This is the time to struggle, the time to get support from their parents and teachers, and learn from those mistakes. This is the reason why formative tasks only account for 25% of the quarterly grade. We settled on this value after working with parents and educators. It is just enough to influence the overall quarterly grade, but it's not too high to hurt the grade during the learning process. The second area is summative assessments. These are assessments of learning which are used to determine if students have met learning goals or targets after instruction. Summative tasks provide evidence of a student's mastery of skills. These are often given at the end of a unit, end of a chapter, or skill. Summatives occur after instruction and are less frequent than formative assessments. These occur formally, such as in tests, performance tasks, and portfolios. Summative assessments help students, parents, and teachers know if students have met learning goals or targets. Summative tasks account for 75% of a student's quarterly grade. Summative tasks take place at the end of the unit of study. Summatives are formal assessments of mastery. If students do well on their formative tasks, the assessments along the way, they should be prepared for the final summative assessment. In other words, the formative tasks can be used by teachers, students, and parents as predictors of success on the end of unit summative. The next section will focus on our A through F equal interval grading scale. To clearly focus on student learning, we needed a clear measure of what students know based on our learning standards and outcomes. We also needed to clearly report this information. Our grading scale has been adjusted to equalize the influence of each score. We have removed academic behaviors from grades, and a 50% will be the lowest score possible, which is an F. The previous grading scale allowed 60 percentage points to count for an F. The issue was the inequity created by giving one letter grade more value than others. The team's goal was to create an equal interval grading scale so that all grades have an equal influence, and not to bury a student who scores an F on the former 100-point scale. This goes back to a comment I made earlier. We learn by making mistakes, and we want our students to be able to recover from failure. Another goal was to separate academic proficiency from student behaviors to better represent student learning with integrity. Academic behaviors will be reported by using the comment box in PowerSchool. It is important to check the comment box for each assignment and for the overall comment for the course. Students may receive behavioral consequences rather than loss of points, which distort the meaning of the grade. Academic behaviors have been removed from the grade. These may include missing or late assignments, no name, wrong ink color, etc. I encourage you to view our PowerSchool communication pieces to take advantage of all of the useful features, including the PowerSchool app. The updated grading scale is listed here. As you can see, the lowest score a student can receive is a 50%. If a student scores lower than a 50% on an assignment, the teacher will record the 50% in the gradebook and make a comment with the child's actual score. We believe learning about a particular topic extends beyond the due date or test date. This section will discuss reassessment opportunities. In an effort to promote an ongoing learning process, reassessments will be required of students earning a D or F on summative assessments. For students earning an A, B, or C, one or possibly more summative reassessment opportunities per quarter per subject will be made available. Additional studying and preparation for the reassessment must take place to ensure our focus is on attainment of learning skills and not earning additional points. Each teacher will create and share specific criteria for their classrooms. Examples that may fit include creating flashcards, reviewing the chapter, completing a study guide or answering chapter review questions, creating study notes, participation in peer, parent, or teacher study group, etc. Students will need to complete and turn in all required assignments for the unit. They may be required to complete a study guide or make corrections to a study guide. And, if age appropriate, complete a reassessment ticket. Once the reassessment is taken, the most recent score will be recorded. This shows where the student is currently positioned in the learning process. Students receiving special services, such as an IEP, 504 disabilities, or limited English proficiency, will be afforded all accommodations and modifications as documented in their individual plans. Thank you for taking the time to view this update on our assessment and grading practices for the 2018-2019 school year.